So are you thinking about relocating to Atlanta and just not quite sure how the process works? Well, stay tuned because that's exactly what this video is all about. We're going to break down the 7 steps to relocate to Atlanta. First step, what is your budget? So the first thing we got to look at is, what is our budget? Because like any other major city, you're going to have so many different price points throughout the city, right? Different property stylings, different pricing. If we got an idea of what the budget is, that really nails things down to, what we're looking for. Now, it's going to be important if you're going to be financing your property and you're moving from out of state. You want to use a local lender within Atlanta, because I know, if we've got multiple offers coming in on properties and we see a lender that's from out of state, that's a red flag in the sense of, they're usually not as dialed into the market, they're not as easily accessible, and you have issues with appraisers a lot of times. And I'm not saying that happens every time, because we've definitely done a lot of deals with out-of-state lenders, but to have more leverage when you present your offer, you want a local lender. And if you're using, you're gonna be, paying cash, it's no problem. Cash is cash, you're fine. But one thing that we do on the front end, once we figure out who the lender is and what our budget is, anybody's got business managers or financial advisors or CPAs, we start working with them directly to formulate our team so that when we go in to make our offers, we're incredibly strong, right? So the first step, we got to figure out what our budget is. So let's get to the second step. This is the fun part. It's time to go see the city. It's time to learn everything about Atlanta. We'll have you fly in, we're gonna pick you up at the airport, we're gonna take all the different areas that you're thinking about, and we're gonna go see all of them, whether it's through 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, however long you're here, because I just wanna make sure that you know the city and you understand what this price point is and what this vibe is and how this area relates to this, what type of restaurants and everything. Just give you a whole view of the whole area. Because once you go see some places and you see the different price points and you get a feel of the neighborhood, that's when it's like, okay, we know what we're looking for. And from that point, we're in a really good position, because once you know your budget and you know what you're looking for and where you're looking for, now it's just a matter of finding it. Also, I want to note, be ready to go to some fine dining or some local Atlanta spot, because when people come in to see the city, I like to show off the restaurants, and I know where they are, especially if you like Thai and sushi. I'm a man. Third step. And this has been incredibly effective. And we've sold homes virtually for years, but once COVID hit, it was a total game changer. And luckily we were already in a position, because we sold a lot of homes virtually. I've done a lot of relocation for people coming out of California, New York, and other states. But what we do is we actually do video tours. Give you a virtual tour of everything. We can do it together, or we can just do the virtual tour and send it over to you. Now the key is going to be to get in there either before it hits the market, or as soon as it hits the market, because a lot of times by the time they've hit the market, you give it a day or two, you're going up against 20 or 30 offers. So we're going to be strategic and getting there real quick, right? And luckily, our team, I've got a whole team of just video marketing, videographers, all that stuff. So doing video tours is a specialty of ours. And another thing we do while we're doing that, we capture all the content for you in case you're doing something for your YouTube series or IG or whatever type of social media platform you may be working with. But we'll have all that content so you can do your little docu-series. It's usually pretty cool. Fourth step. We found the one and we got it under contract, all right? And we'll talk more about how to write the winning offers and strategies in another video, and plus when we're working together. But let's just say we found the one, and now it's time for you to fly in. We're going to get the inspector. You're going to fly in. We're going to make sure it's the one. Now, every home is going to have issues. I don't care if it's 20,000 or 20 million. Every home has some issues of some sort. Anyway, we're going to negotiate that with the seller. But the main thing is for you to fly in, see the home, get a vibe, make sure it's the right one. We'll negotiate all the repairs with the seller. And then, hey, we're just moving on to the finance piece. If you're financing your home, if you're paying cash, we'll pretty much be done at that point. But this is the whole inspection period, and to make sure that this is the one. Fifth step. All right, so we've inspected the property, you're loving it, this is the one. Well, the next thing we got to do is we got to get an appraisal. We got to make sure this is going to appraise for the value, right? And we're going to wait till we come out of our inspection period to actually order the appraisal. Now that's just for your lender to verify this is a good investment, and for you as well to verify this is a good investment. Now things are real competitive in Atlanta right now. I mean, I tell people we're getting the Seattle syndrome over here, where things are going way over list price. People are having to negotiate whether they're getting an appraisal, etc. But that's on a case-by-case basis, so I'm not going to get all into that. But let's just say we're through with the inspection, we've got the appraisal, everything looks good. Now let's go to the sixth step, because now about to be wrapping up, because the next two steps are actually pretty simple. So let's talk about the sixth step. All right, the sixth step is so simple. This is where it's like, we are getting this house. That's when it's time to start packing. Don't start packing. I mean, you can line your movers up and everything, because you can cancel on them. But you start packing once the appraisal comes back and everybody's in agreement that we're going to the closing table. Because that's when it's time to start packing, figuring out everything with the move and all the movers and everything. Because once we're clear with the inspection and the appraisal, we're getting close to the finish line. And the seventh step, the magical 7, real simple. Flew into Atlanta, we'll pick you up at the airport, and then we're going to the closing table. And closings are so simple. You just got to show up with a couple of forms of ID, get ready to sign a bunch of paperwork, and we're going to be in there for 45 minutes to an hour, and everybody going, hey, how you doing? High-fiving, hugging. Here's my paperwork. Let me get them keys. Bada bing, how you doing? And you now own your Atlanta home. And as I say, welcome home to Atlanta.